Hello everyone, I'm going to do this pen and wash landscape for you this time. Would you be interested in sketching it along with me? Come on then, do stay with me till the end and you will be able to do the same too. Here I have first drawn out a rough outline of the composition that I want to draw. In this case, it's a country house surrounded with lush greenery with all types of trees around, the palm, plantains, and of course the smaller bushes. After sketching out this rough outline in a very light pencil, now I am going over the same outline with a waterproof ink gel pen, adding more and more details along the way. Do remember the gel pen has to be waterproof because later on we are going to use watercolors to paint our composition. In a line and wash drawing, typically we do more of the line work than the painting work, and so naturally that calls for a little more detailing in the line work itself, and therefore we can even do the shadow work in the line work itself, which will avoid having more of the shading work to be done in the painting part later on. Of course, as always, for the shadow work we will be considering the light source coming from any one direction. In this case it is the top left upper corner. For the foliages, we will not be drawing each and every leaf, but the basic rough outline or silhouette of the trees or bushes that we are showing. The backgrounds can be darkened off a little bit so that the foliages in the front will stand out, and then we draw or add little details like the shadings of the fence in the front, and then leave the sketch to dry for some time before we start with the watercolor itself. And that brings us to the finished sketch. So this is the watercolor palette that I'll be using. These are Camlin Artist watercolors, and the basic shades that I'm using are lemon yellow, chrome yellow, yellow ochre, scarlet red, crimson red, burnt sienna, sap green, cobalt blue, Prussian blue, and a little bit of black. And I'll be mixing all these colors to get various shades. When the ink work is completely dry, we start with the painting part. We start with the sky using the wet and wet technique, which is explained in my earlier video regarding watercolor techniques. Here I am using the dawn colors of the sky, little bit of yellow, little bit of red and blue, and now I am using the masking fluid to mask out the fence part so that I'll be able to paint over it to get an even paint surface. The masking fluid will have to be left to dry completely before we start with the painting again. Next we start painting the foliages. The best part of line and wash is that because we have done most of the shading work in the lines itself, there is not really any need to do too many details in the painting part. Only a few washes here and there are good enough to bring out the effect, which is why it is called a line and wash drawing. We can of course add a few light and shade effects to make the painting more interesting. Before we paint over the masking fluid, care has to be taken to see that the masking fluid is completely dry.
Masking out such elements makes it easy to paint over it without having to leave any gaps in between. We add the different foliages, the different shades of different foliages, and then the wall surface, brick surface, or whatever painted surface that you may want to show. Here again we add a few light and shade effects in order to make the painting more interesting. Juxtaposing the dark and light tones against each other also makes the painting more interesting. We add a few more dark patches in the background so as to bring out the front elements like the foliages. The bushes and foliages have been done mostly using the scumbling technique, which has been explained in my earlier videos on watercolor techniques. Now we add a few more details on the roof, and now we remove the dried up masking fluid very carefully. Care has to be taken to see that each and every speck of the fluid is removed, because if it is left on the paper, it can catch dust later on and spoil the painting. The dried up fluid can be removed by using your finger, or you can even use an eraser to remove it. Once the fluid is removed completely, you can paint over the area to add more details of the fence.
And so that's it. Our pen and wash sketch is done. Did you like it? If you liked it, do press the like button and do subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. And yes, don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get future notifications of future videos. You may also leave your comments below and let me know if any other work you would like to see. Also click on the end screens here above to watch other videos. See you in the next video then.